Grady Wulff is a financial writer with Grafa. Grady, just explain to me what's been pushing up the price of coffee beans, first of all, please.
Good to speak to you, Steve. Well, it's actually there's a number of factors at play here. We've seen climate change and with drought and frost damaging crops in major coffee exporters like Brazil. Then you have COVID infection rates surging in places like Papua New Guinea, which is a huge exporter of coffee to Australia. Then market uncertainty in places like Ethiopia, which also are exporters of coffee as they're on the brink of civil war. And then to top it all off, we have pandemic-related global supply chain disruptions and increased shipping and freight costs. So that is just the perfect storm for our coffees to surge through the roof. And in fact, it's actually doubled in price in the last year alone. So we had coffee at about $1.21 a pound or US dollars a pound in February, all the way to $2.52 US cents in December last year. At the moment, it's sitting around $2.40 US cents per pound today, and that's 86% higher year to date. So it's not the milk, as you said, it is the coffee itself.
And this is because of a range of factors. If people blame the pandemic, it's not directly the pandemic as such. It is in some places, yeah, but not entirely, yeah.
No, definitely not all round. And as I said, it's climate change, which is just the perfect storm of things. You've got COVID, you've got supply chain disruptions, which is now hitting the coffee industry. We know it's hit a lot of other industries, and now it's finally hit the coffee industry. So first home buyers have it tough, as this is just another thing keeping them from buying their first home.
Most coffee retailers, I assume, buy their coffee beans in bulk. So when that sort of their current crop or the current store runs out, the next batch, the price rise jumps. Because I tried to sort of get a handle on who put their price up, and a lot of the really big international fast food places, for instance, their coffee doesn't seem to have moved, but a lot of the smaller shops or the boutique espresso places have.
Exactly. So Starbucks is the coffee giant of the world, as we all know, and they have 14 months of supplying coffee. So it's the little Joes down the road, the ones where you get your coffee from every morning, the corner stores that are going to feel it the most, because they don't buy in bulk and they don't have the luxury of having 14 months supply of coffee. So that's where we're going to feel it the most.
Is it true, and I'm hoping you can give me some guidance here, Grady, but is it true that banks these days are looking directly at how I spend my money on my card? In other words, they look to see if I'm buying smashed avocado on toast every morning and an espresso coffee. In other words, they look at these, what used to be cheap purchases, but are now increasingly, cash-consuming purchases when I'm putting together a mortgage?
That is absolutely correct, Steve. I've actually just gone into a mortgage a loan for my car, and they checked on my bank statement to see how much Uber Eats I was ordering, what I was ordering, and especially what I'm ordering on weekends, where I'm spending my food and spending my money. And if it's on food, they were not happy. So it's all about where you're spending your money these days. And smashed avocado needs to come off the menu, and so does coffee these days, apparently.
So to get that, so what's the average house price in Australia at the moment?
It's $1 million at the moment. So Aussies need around $200,000 for a deposit. And if we're looking at the median or the average age of home buyers, in the 90s it was 27 years old, and now it's 31 to 33. And for Sydney-siders, it's 38 years old. So they need to work 18 years of full-time work before they can even enter the property market on the average rate.
My guest is Grady Wulff. Grady's a financial writer with Grafa. This is ABC Radio Brisbane. She's telling me about coffee beans. So bottom line is, if you want your first home mortgage, back off. In fact, stop spending money on smashed avo on toast and espresso coffees, because the bank's going to look at that and say you've got too many outflows. You're spending too much cash on these things to be able to meet your payments.
That's absolutely correct, Steve. They're going to check and see if you're on the Nescafe Blend 43 in the office, or if you're going out once or twice a day for your coffees.
In other words, if you're making a serious attempt at saving money. Listen, are the sales of espresso machines going up? So I spoke with the previous presenter, who you probably didn't hear, but he apparently, when he travels overseas, he's a comedian part-time, and when he travels overseas, he would actually take a little coffee machine with him so they could have what they liked when they liked at a far more affordable price. And a couple of listeners have indicated that they also have coffee machines, and it just occurred to me that a lot of people have coffee machines or espresso machines at home these days. Are the sales of espresso machines going up?
I actually don't have the figures on espresso machines, but that would seem like the consensus at the moment from all the people we've talked to, all the all the data we've collected, it does seem like those are the coffee machines, the products to have these days. In all the sales online, it just appears that everyone is wanting to switch into their own coffees in the office as opposed to buying them every day.
What do you do in your office, can I ask?
I have the pod machine, so I go out and buy my pods once a week. I think it's 20 pods for $13, and that saves me quite a bit of money towards my first home per week.
That's cheap in my mind, because pods are normally quite I don't want to be unfair to the companies involved, but pods are a premium way of making your own espresso, aren't they?
They absolutely are. And I also have the Italian coffee machine at home, the one where you put the loose coffee into the pot and then it boils up. So that's my luxury on Saturdays and Sundays. But I'm all about the pods and the Nescafe pods in the office. So
I'm unaware if they've actually gone up in price, those pod coffees. I don't really know if it's happened.
No, we'll have to look into that. I will definitely get off the phone and have a look into that and let you know, because if the pod coffees are hit by this crisis, then all of us are in hot water, aren't we?
Grady, thanks for your help.
Thanks so much.
Grady Wulff is financial writer with Grafa. This is ABC Radio Brisbane.